You know, it's been pretty exciting and very emotional night, really, and a lot of people crossed the border just to have that moment. Where were you on the 23rd of November? And, you know, we're very excited, and who would have thought? That's what we keep repeating in our heads.
Well, it was good of you to organise Elvis to be there as well.
Yeah, I thought Elvis had passed on, but apparently he hadn't left the building, and he was here last night. So yeah, I've seen him a few times in my previous life as a policeman in Wodonga, not because he was an offender, because he just hung around like a moth around a light. But look, it was great to see the characters here on full show. But you know, it's just part of that excitement piece, and you know, we need to get that recovery piece going now and get our mental health on track and start supporting our businesses, supporting our people.
Yeah, and there is a serious side to this. While we're seeing jubilant scenes there at the border, this has been really tough for the twin towns there. As you detailed last night to Andrea Crothers, there's been people who haven't been able to go to their own parents' funeral, and you do note the huge mental health impact too.
Oh, look, I've seen it all. Myself and my previous partner, Anna Speedy, the Wodonga Mayor, we took so many inquiries over the last 138 days, and you know, it's been an emotional drain on us and our families, and you know, they support us through this whole thing, and as local representatives, you know, we're that first point of call, and you know, we've been very supportive, and the community have been very supportive of each other. So hopefully this divide no longer exists, and we can reunify people all the way to Wentworth and Mildura, because that's my aim, you know, and I want to keep this narrative going with the Premier, and certainly have those discussions with Victoria about how we can restore the harm that's been afforded to the mental health of our people on the border region, which is probably double down or triple down to what has happened right across the country.
Tell me about some of those phone calls you have received over the last couple of months.
Oh, look, only a month ago I had a sister of a man that passed away in a motorcycle accident just on the other side of the border, and she never got to his funeral on the Monday in Albury because she couldn't get a permit, and it just broke my heart. And another example, a young lady needed life-saving brain surgery with Charlie Teo in Sydney, and yeah, she got to Sydney, but then I couldn't get her back from Sydney, and thankfully to Sonia Garlick from the Service New South Wales, were able to get her and her mother back from Sydney back to Melbourne so she could recuperate. I mean, it's just a litany of examples, and there's just been so much sorrow that's been impacted upon this cross-border community and the communities as far south as Melbourne and as far north as Albury. But, you know, we've withstood it, we're resilient, and we'll continue to fight the good fight. But as in the classic Mel Gibson, you know, they can take our lives, but they can't take our freedom. So, you know, I just think, you know, we'll continue to fight that good fight.
Yeah, it's good to see people looking after themselves, and I know those mental health impacts will be long-lasting, and people need to continue to do that. But are there any positives to come out of this, Kevin? I'd like to end on a positive note. People started looking out for their neighbours a bit more, businesses adapted. What is it that you can take out as a positive?
Yeah. Look, I think from a point of view of recovery and a point of view of this whole process, people have learned that there's more to life than themselves, and they've reached out to other people. They've been very supportive of our local businesses, supportive of each other. And you can see that on our social networking platforms. You can see that in the street. And, you know, as much as people want to hug each other, but they can't hug each other. They're still social distance. They're still doing the right thing. So, look, there is a positive out of all this. And as Pumbaa said in Lion King, put the past in your behind, Laura, and we'll just keep going and get this job done, and we'll move on, because that's Australia, and that's innate in us to do that.